Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
And on tonight's episode of the Brewtiful Game, number 289, PSG win back-to-back Champions League finals as they defeated Arsenal in penalty kicks at the Puskás Arena in Budapest, Hungary. Well, we thought it would be around December. I don't even know what it was great having Tony in on the pod, but the whole slot conversation was null and void. But no, we're wrong, as Liverpool acted quickly following this season with the sacking of head coach Arne Slot. And there's other ones, too, that have left. It's I mean,
a revolving door.
Not for nothing, but my picking manager stuff for the season as a point of moment of the season hasn't stopped yet. That's just, it is a wild revolving door, which I have a fun stat about later. Then as the halftime whistle blows, the nice new slick kits of the Stamford Bridge barbecue and the Mary McCabe mountain of the mashed potatoes, Ron shares with us all the news that's fit to drink in this edition of Ron's Beer News. And once again, for the second half of the pod, there are just too many topics floating around the world of football as our doubled 2x2 minute drill mashes with our LeaguA's roundup. But first, our beer. So, gents, I'll jump on it. I have the littlest beer can I've ever had on this pod before.
Littlest.
That's why
A can or bottle?
a little can.
We've had Little Kings.
We did have a little bottle. This is a little can. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I had to wait to get right before we started, because it will lose too much temperature. And the reason it is like it is because of that. So I have, you guys may have seen this. I just stumbled across the beer store. I had not seen these yet. So a fantastic brewery that is a favorite, Sierra Nevada, has their new pills out. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. And it's an 8.
I didn't see it in the seltzer can.
Yeah,
style.
it looks like it, but it is what it is an 8.4 ounce, because the European cans, Pilsner cans size. So over on their website, it said, our brewery has always been inspired by the German brewing process. And we imported real copper German kettles to brew our beer. Like the legendary European Pilsners that inspired us, Pils is brewed with precision and balance. Its brilliant clarity and a tight white foam reveal our commitment to quality from selecting the purest ingredients around the world. It says, as I've enjoyed beers all over the world, this is from Brian Grossman, their chief brewer. He says, but there's something special about a proper Pilsner at a European pub. Crisp, refreshing, served in a smaller glass to keep it at the ideal temperature and flavor. It's how a Pils is meant to be enjoyed. So why the proper Pilsner can? It says smaller cans reflect European culture, a size that optimizes the true Pils experience. The portion size ensures the Pils stays fresh, crisp, and cold from the first to the last sip. Bright citrus tangerine aroma from the glass arises, balanced with a subtle touch of sweet malt. And so you guys have probably seen those smaller Pilsner glasses. Like sometimes you order a Pilsner Urquell, and it'll come in the smaller one. But it's got smooth malt body up front, sweetness, pleasant hop character, and hints of citrus pill, creating a soft, dry finish that's refreshing sip after sip. So I wish I had the actual Sierra Nevada Pils glass. I'll have to get. But yeah, that just caught my eye. I was like, wait, what is this? I was like, is that a Sierra Nevada seltzer in the beer? When I saw the size of the 8-pack. Right. But yeah, so they're Pils Craft Lager. And I don't think I've had a Sierra Nevada on this pod in a while.
It's probably been a bit.
Yeah.
Probably Oktoberfest.
Yeah. There you go. We do like to get the collaboration beer in here. Yeah.
Yep. Beer.
But it's such a cute little can.
It is.
It's
adorable.
I found what I think is the only soccer branded beer I've ever seen. From Kings County Brewing in Brooklyn. This beer is called Penguins on the Pitch Pale Ale.
What a great name. I love it.
That I would write. Alliteration.
Yeah, it is New England Hazy Pale Ale, 5.2% on the old ABV. Should be a pale gold color, features fresh citrus, candied pineapple, zesty grapefruit, and some tropical fruit. And should be a pretty smooth beer with a clean finish, making it, quote, highly crushable. So we've not had Kings County Brewing on. Kings County, sorry, they're in Bushwick. So allegedly, in our beer history of the country, Bushwick was the beer capital of the Northeast during the late 1800s, all the way up to Prohibition. So Prohibition happens, and a whole flood of breweries close, including Rheingold and Schaefer Brewing, which, they close, try to come back after Prohibition. They make it to some degree, but Schaefer finally closes its doors in 1976. And then tick, 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 40 years elapse before Kings County Brewers open again in Bushwick. It was pretty interesting that it went that long, having been the beer capital. So they opened in 2016, and they went from a small posse of co-founders to nearly 32 full-time employees. 100% of their product is brewed and packaged on-site in Bushwick. The neighborhood grew up around them. So they have all kinds of nightlife and food and arts and music all around them. Their tap room is right off the L train. They're just crushing it. They're sending beer throughout New York and New York State, but also New Jersey, PA, Connecticut, Virginia, Massachusetts, a whole bunch of other states. Then the UK, Scandinavia, Japan, China, and Australia. That's a lot of beer to be, producing there.
Mm-hmm. I love on this can. Did you show Blake? Sorry.
No.
There's, penguins, and they're
that's awesome.
fighting. One's in goal. One's trying to looks like a penalty kick or a kick out of the goal or something. And then, like, in the background, like, the stadium name is called Pet Life Stadium.
That's great.
So if you go to kcbcbeer.com and go to the About page, they have a cool write-up about their full-time artist who does all the can art and website art and all that kind of stuff. He
that's so cool.
You and he, Blake, should just go for a beer, because the amount of comic book stuff that this guy does is incredible.
Oh, that's awesome.
So when he's not doing the comic book stuff, he's designing all their art.
What was the name of the brewery again? One more time.
Kings County Breweries Collective, KCBC.
Which KCBC, when we went to the NWSL final, Kansas City Brewing Company was the name of it, and they had a similar logo. So I was like, no, we've had this on the pod before. No, we haven't. New York.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Oh, the art's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm going through the website now. It's cool. That dude's
art all over their website is incredible. The octopus that's eating a keg, and then they have octopus tentacles that are eating or picking up hops to eat.
Well, and the one at the top with the two penguins, sort of Flash Gordon style, sci-fi with the walrus in the back, is such a nod to when Rocket Raccoon was first created. He was it wasn't how we know it in the current Marvel movies. It was in this weird thing with a walrus and other anthropomorphic characters, and I guarantee this is what he's homaging it, because like the style is even like super, super close to that 70s look.
Yeah, super cool. I really dig it. So had to snag this because I really do. I cannot remember another beer that was soccer themed.
No, and I don't think we've had the brewery on either. So very cool. Very, very cool. You can meet the artist. Yeah, that's awesome.
I think the next closest one would be Forefathers in Canada had a beer named Shevchenko.
Yes, that was the only one I could think of.
That was
said that's just a brand they did, and it wasn't. I mean, it's soccer themed, but this more so with the art and everything like that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, has no one made a beer called the special one?
Oh, we should just brew it.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys pour slowly. I'm an idiot and left my glass upstairs. I'll run fast.
Fair enough. We actually had to put we have this little tiny fridge that came from Ron's studio. It's now here. And it was on, and Ron brought over the beer, and we immediately threw it in because I turned it on actually when I first got home at like 6 something, I think. And you didn't get over until about 7:30, something like that. So it was on for a good bit. We threw the 4-pack in there.
Yeah, the 4-pack's been in there for like an hour and a half.
Right. So then we took the first 2 out there a little bit warm. Thankfully, the back 2 are much colder, and I threw the other 2 in the freezer. So just don't let me forget to take them out of the freezer here in about a half an hour. So probably when we're about on your beer news, or maybe before that, I got to run and get them out of the freezer real quick because they weren't as cold. We were telling a story while you were gone just about how the beer wasn't as cold as we thought in the fridge, and yada, yada, yada. But anyways, here we go.
Well, all right, here we go.
Hey, Siri, remind me in 30 minutes to remove the beer from the freezer.
Yep.
I don't have a proper Pilsner glass, but Ferris, thank you. My Arsenal glass you got me from is still it's like the closest thing to an actual.
Yeah. It's a hard can to open, Ron.
I know, right?
The same issue.
Oh, I'm a little.
Look at that.
I'm a little heady.
Yes, you are.
That's all the can fills up from that glass, by the way. I mean, it's just 8.4, but it's super. It's very clear. It's a light golden, but it's not.
Yeah, it's very like strawish.
Yeah, and it's clear, but it's not like water clear, if that makes sense. You know. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, just like most Sierra Nevadas, it's got a good hop smell.
For all of you lighting designers out there, it's a no color straw.
Pinkies up.
This smells.
Ours is just a nice, clean, crisp, pale ale looking golden yellow.
Yeah, this one looks. This I think is going to be quite tasty. You guys good?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna drink a little bit of foam.
You got a little foam there. It's a little heady. Cheers, gents.
So,
if you guys find this, you should snag this at the store.
Pills?
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, it is definitely on the New England side.
Yeah.
I don't get the hazy part.
No. It's a pale ale, so.
Yeah. There's nothing hazy in the glass or in the mouth for the hazy portion. And
I'll give you something hazy in the mouth.
If I had a nickel.
Yeah, it's only 5.2% alcohol by volume. Pale ale, mosaic and cascade hops, barley and wheat.
And it's a little more hop forward than I would expect.
Yeah, it sticks around though a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of sticks there on the palate.
Which is interesting because it's not an IPA.
No.
So it's kind of this blend between the two styles of pale ales, right? It's a pale ale in color, but the majority of the taste is IPA, not straight pale ale.
Yeah, but like,
because
it's
also
weird, but like unfiltered IPA. I don't know. It just doesn't.
Because also pale ales are darker and a little more brown, right? IPAs are not.
No.
You know, I got to get Siri to remind me. I just remembered the soccer post that I told my story of from the previous pod. Their tent sale started today, so so I got to go before we travel out to the UK this weekend and get over there, and I will let you guys know what you would like the soccer Santa to stuff in your soccer stockings, and I'll see what's there.
Kit.
I love it.
Which one?
I thought it was sharp. That's why I even wrote it in the thing because it was slick looking, man.
Why do I not remember it? Let me pull up.
It literally just came out like yesterday or today.
Yeah, like I think they dropped it on Tuesday.
Oh, so it's not like one they wore like on the last day or anything.
No.
Oh, you don't like this? I
like it.
It is a nice shirt.
Sure.
I mean,
right?
That is a soccer kit ready to play golf in.
Technically, it's a nice new slick kit. That's what I wrote. It has a collar. You know, like a collar.
You know what it looks like to me, honestly? It looks like when you go to the soccer shop and they don't have the kit you want for the team, they have this shirt, which is kind of the knockoff. You buy this one because it's representative of your team, right? Because you really wanted to go away with something. They had a sale and you want to leave.
It looks kind of throwback though, man. I think the yellow piping with it is cool.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying it. I'm just saying it's okay.
All right. So, all right. I amend. It's not necessarily like the pictures they posted was in like a dark room and they almost like highlighted it. I get what you're meaning now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the.
Yes,
you're right, Ferris. I'm looking at the reveal, and it does give a much different vibe on the reveal.
Bait and switch a little bit.
Yeah,
but then you look at like you can buy it on the Chelsea International US store, and it looks like just a normal polo.
Yeah.
But
it looks like you're buying the knockoff. That's what it looks like.
There's a big Chelsea symbol right on the center of it.
It does feel bait and switch. Like if you saw this, I'm looking at their website, Chelsea's website, and if you bought this and the other one showed up, you'd be going, I got Timu bait and switch. It looked good and it showed up different.
That looked like the one with the dark and then how it looks awesome. Like the dark and the photos and the chief editor and all whatever they did looks great. Like,
can you lower that exposure a little bit more? A little bit more.
But then all of a sudden you bring it out into the light and you're like, well, it doesn't quite have that same effect.
Yeah, it's very bright mustard yellow. That yellow is.
And then also on there, on the majority of them, they have a nice big gold world champions.
Yeah, the multi-access trainer trophy.
Yeah, right.
All you science nerds out there.
So okay,
and it's Midlands yellow. By the way,
Midlands yellow.
All right, I get you now, Ron. That makes a lot more sense because I'd only seen the fancy.
If it's brand new, that won't be in the tent sale, but I'll let you guys know what I find because they usually have a nice collection of.
Got me the last time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which was a kit I actually wasn't going to get for myself that I like because it has like the black trim and all that. It was 2 years ago, 3 years ago when we were proper then, but I like it. Sharp kit. I appreciate it.
I'm now that we're turning into what we're wearing for the pod.
Yeah.
I'm wearing
kit pod.
The Bedford. Yes, the Bedford UK kit. Just got it this morning.
That's awesome. Because if
Skull and Crossbones, and
you don't know where Bedford is, just search that, and then you'll see
just north of London by, I don't know, 30 minutes.
You'll see a company that I currently work for that you both have worked for. Universal bought some land there and get ready to open a theme park there.
Yeah, they just announced the name today.
Announced it all, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going back to that Real Bedford's website, and Ron, I'm just like, I am jealous. We certainly need to do this trip to the lower league earlier, but like when you do head over, like we definitely got to go. I mean, this pitch is, and I mean this in the best way possible, adorable. I can't wait. Like I just, that's awesome. There's that crest rules. That skull and crossbones. It looks like a skull the Punisher would wear.
Let's shop a little bit here.
That's sort of that yellow one.
Oh, the black and the yellow. All three of them are great.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that lightning?
Yeah.
Oh, Ron.
I might have to order the yellow one.
You go over there. Can you stop by the club shop and pick me up an XL of that black there, Blake?
Oh man, that's awesome.
So you have the yellow one as well. I want the black one. It's a lightning bolts.
Yeah, they look so.
I love lightning bolts.
I will be staying near Cambridge FC, so I'm gonna go poke my head in there and see their shop and stuff. And
they are. Let's see the true side.
Anytime I see a place, if they got a shop, I'm gonna go in and see if I can get a scarf or something.
Pay for me.
Oh, so nice.
I like that gold one, or what? I don't know what you quite call that yellow.
Gold one and the black one.
I like the black one. I like the black one.
Yeah. Realbedford.com. Or is they pronounce it Real or is it Real Bedford?
It's Real.
Real Bedford. Okay.
As far as I'm aware, all the Bedfordians that I have spoken to.
That black one. Sharp.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, heck yeah.
You buy it now with Apple Pay. Easy, cool as that. 55 quid. Let's go.
Someone's been playing the James Bond game. 55 quid over here.
Oh, it's so much fun. Although I haven't played as nearly as much as I would have liked, but I'm going through 00 training him in like the advanced modules now. But man, it's cool. It's a cool, very, very cool game. If you're seeing anything online of it, it is as good as it's advertised, and I haven't even gotten into like the really cool, good parts of it yet.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but really good stuff. I'm gonna get that one. All right, gents, shall we roll on over to the football?
Yeah.
UEFA Champions League, the champions. It's match night. Well, the powerhouse of European attacking took on the powerhouse of European defending as PSG and Arsenal played themselves to a 1-1 draw, courtesy of an early Kai Havertz roof goal, lashing followed by a second half penalty, which was calmly and coolly dispatched by Ousmane Dembele. Then, as the two teams played out a scoreless extra time, it was to pens they went, and that's where PSG prevailed at the end 4-3, with the game time pen sailed over the goal by Arsenal center back Gabriel into the PSG faithful. So PSG are back-to-back Champions League winner for the first time since Real Madrid did it in the teens. And so we asked, did both teams get it right on the day?
I think both did.
Actually.
I think PSG played their game. Arsenal played predominantly their game. To go up against a heavy attack, Arsenal got their goal early, which bit of luck on the bounce, but a lovely finish by Kai Havertz, and I think that was a little bit of a surprise.
They almost had another one by Trossard shortly later too. That felt that moment when that one didn't happen, and it was right there. I was like, I felt the moment. You ever watch a match? You're like, that was it. It might have only been 33 minutes in, but that was it. That was the. If they could have had that, you put a little desperation. It changes the way PSG.
2-0. Yeah. Absolutely. But that 1-0 early, I think it was a little bit of a surprise, and it allowed Arsenal to probably go into their game plan a little bit earlier than they thought, of just trying to, get 10 behind the ball, if you will, and defend. And
it's tough.
For a vast majority of the game, they did that extremely well.
And of course, I think the record for the lowest possession held by a winner of the final. Do you know who had that? I'm positive it's Jose Mourinho. I'm trying to find
I would be
the exact year. Yeah, it was like whatever Arsenal's percentage was. It was like 2% higher or something like that. Because I was like, I wonder, has anyone won this with this low of a? And I was like, oh, of course, Jose Mourinho has totally won this with that.
And
hit him on the counter, park the bus.
And to go to the stats, like you can. It was just one-way traffic after that goal. I mean, 75-point change, 76 ball percentage for PSG opposed to 24 and change, 25 for Arsenal. Expected goals, 1.72 for PSG, 0.51 for Arsenal. 21 total shots to 7. 4 shots on target, 1 shot on target. 42 touches in an opposition box opposed to 16. 3 big chances opposed to 1. 2 big chances missed opposed to 0. Passing accuracy, 91% with 809 passes opposed to 196 at 69%. 2 yellow cards for PSG, 4 for Arsenal. Corners, 11 PSG corners opposed to the 3 for Arsenal. Now, here's a point that I don't think was mentioned a whole lot, but a crucial part, I think. In that first half, which I think would have been Arsenal's first corner, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
maybe for a second.
Yeah.
The ref blew it as they were taking it. I think that's predominantly from a lot of the time wasting Arsenal were doing in that first half. I think they screwed themselves out of a chance to take an extra corner there. And one that I think is crucial, because how good Arsenal have been on corners this year. Had they gone in just before half with that goal and a 2-0 lead.
2-0 lead.
I mean, we're assuming a lot that would have gone in, but that was they had just taken a corner, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was just they had just taken a corner. It was a free kick. Ball bounced around and then it created another corner. But how slow they were doing things in the first half from throw-ins and that, I think they time wasted themselves out of that corner. and the ref just blew it because the time had already surpassed for whatever that extra time was.
Yeah, it felt fast because in so many matches we've seen it longer. I think is why that felt like a fast whistle blow. This is
because the extra time wasn't too much. It was
it really was. It
5 or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, most people were like, "Wait, what?" You know what I mean? Because like they were right there to take it, but also, what time are you wasting? Because you were right there at the whistle. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't think it was necessarily on that play. I think it was an accumulation of that first half from about the 24th minute on. That accumulation, he was just kind of tired of it at that point because it wasn't like Arsenal had the corner and tried to hurry to take it knowing it was into the half. They still were kind of lethargic in how they were trying to, because Declan Rice takes your corners, right?
Right. Yeah, but it's like
slowly meandering out or something like that. So yeah, it was weird.
There's the comments are. The comments are basically, and when I say comments, the above the garbage, comments of, but so with the actual conversations about it are the against it is on the critics front. It's kind of this like, some former officials and stuff argue, a corner represents a major exciting goal opportunity. It was the last play of the thing. The common sense approach is typically in a high stakes match to allow this to finish out. Right. And the arguing one was, again, not arguing that it wasn't within the laws to have blown the whistle. The other was the consistency, because it just was to blow the whistle immediately before it could be taken. Just blow the whistle to end the half before it felt. If it was punitive, well, because that is not. Like what you said technically isn't the letter of the law. It should have. It's either this play. You know what I mean? It's that, and we go back to that consistency thing.
Yeah, I just thought watching it was more of a okay. We've let this kind of go on far enough from just slowly methodically taking these throw-ins in these corners that we're at the +6, because at that time it was like 6 and change. And it was just like, okay, I'm not putting. Let's just come on. We're past that allotment of time from my watch on there. We're not going through this.
No, I just think it seemed like that. I think it's one of those things that's like, that needs. I would like it to be consistently called, because it would be great to tighten the games up in that way. I hope I hope that starts to happen. It's just the consistency with it, which has always been the thing that's been weird that we've
also like it. Our direct comparative is the Premier League, right? So really what we should be doing is looking at how they called those things throughout the rest of the Champions League,
right? Not
in comparison to the Premier League.
Well, yeah, but even then there was a shout in the first half for a handball on Saka.
Yeah.
Or that was not called.
But now by letter of the law, they did read that out. And it sounds like that wasn't, but this season it's been all over the place.
But in the Champions League this season, that's been called. And that's the consistency of it. Even though it bounced off of him first and then hit his arm, by the letter of the law to what you're saying, yes, it shouldn't be called.
But
based on pre-knockout matches within Champions League,
right,
it was expected that was going to be called.
Yeah, sure.
So that's the consistency. Now, I thought all in all, it was a very well-reffed game, all things considered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just I think as a fan, I imagine as a player too, it's like, it becomes the
demonstrated by the players as this was all, everybody's just walking off the pitch.
Yeah,
there's a lot of remonstrating going on. Right?
Yeah.
And I think I don't think there's any argument that the pen in the second half that Dembele put away was it a pen? I think Phil in our chat said it. He's surprised that was it Euskera that put in that challenge?
Yeah,
that already on a card wasn't taken off a little bit sooner. Now this was in the 66, so. Yeah, your first subs after a half sometimes come in anywhere from that 65th and on. But on a card, you maybe do it a little bit earlier.
Not only the card, but he was leggy, right? He was tired at that point, which is why he put in that kind of why he puts in that challenge, right?
And I think it was, absolutely a pen. I don't know really what the argument was from the Arsenal players there. I mean, they're just trying to argue that the case is not a pen, but it was called there and it was VAR, so it is what it is. I think when you fast forward to the extra time, I don't know how he got it right because I don't know how he saw it, but the Madueke pull down pen, I thought he got absolutely right. With that said, had he called it a pen, I don't think it would have been overturned.
Agreed.
Because it wasn't called a pen, it wasn't going to be overturned by VAR.
Yes. Now, if we were in the Premier League, who the hell knows how that would have come out of VAR?
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like who knows?
We were talking about it at my game on Sunday, which is we can compare those like apples and apples because it's the highest of competitions in over 40 beer league in freaking Ocoee, Florida. But let's anyways, no. We were talking. I said the only ways I think he saw it was the angle that he had. If you go back and you watch it, he was kind of in between the penalty spot and the corner of the 18-yard box. And as they come down kind of the end line there, or the goal line, if you will, he had to have seen Madueke kind of in an arm lock, grabbing the defender's arm before then it kind of spun around and he was taken down. It's the only way that I think he could have solved that.
And he called the linesman too. The linesman,
yes, but the linesman has a little bit of back. But the ref, you watch the head ref, he was almost spot on and going, no, it's not a pen, and kind of waving his arms. And Arteta and everybody's. Declan Rice actually got a card for it about 2 minutes later because he's arguing the entire way down, which you've never really see him like that. But I think when you look at the replay, Madueke initiates the contact.
Yeah, he scoops
arm
under.
locks.
Yeah.
Arm locks him and then it's switching. It's kind of a tangle. I think for that, it's the correct call that they're both just going
it's fair
at
play.
it.
They go down.
Right?
And it's
but
not a
how
penalty.
he got that right in that moment, because it was like, was it the first period of extra time or the second period?
It should have been right. It should have been like VAR making that call. It was wild that it was him that made that call. Correct.
Yeah, he actually made it and coincidentally right. But again, if he called for the pen, I don't think VAR is going to overturn that. So it's tough. Having
this convo, I kind of wish I had looked up what the general consensus was for refereeing with VAR. I should be specific through the Champions League comparative to like Premier League, La Liga. You know what I mean? To see.
I don't remember it being nearly as controversial.
It was just the handballs mainly from it bouncing off of players and doing what happened with Saka. So I appreciate that it wasn't called in that moment, but the consistency of how they've been calling it in the Champions League so far, because that's what the commentators were saying. I don't remember the knockout games. Was it the semis or the quarters where it happened in those games in the pens? Was it the Bayern and PSG game?
Well, I mean,
it happened a few times.
So basically, Champions League.
There was a few of them. They were called in that moment to where it bounced off of the player and then their arm, which by the letter of the law should not be called a handball, but was called in that manner. But in terms of goal line, in terms of
Europe
there's never a goal line, but with VAR, I don't remember any other real challenges being an issue. Excuse me.
Well, no one can figure out what a handball is, even in all of Europe, apparently.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was correct, but it has not been. Did they get it right on the day? This is a hard one. I do think that Arsenal, like a tactical thing that was a mistake, but I mean, this is a stupid thing. I'm going to say a very John Madden thing, but if they'd won, no one would have said that, right? But it was like the substitutions pulled some of the better penalty takers out of it. And I get, you're rotating people through, you're going into extra time. So if you'd have gotten scored on, would you have been called an idiot for not rotating them out? But then it did go to PKs, and then you had lost some of your solid.
Gabriel was going to be the anchor.
That was a surprise, because I think because there was no, going back a little bit, there was no Dembele, no Kvaratskhelia in pens in extra time. Yes, Dembele hit that first one. They were both subbed out. No, Fabian Ruiz, he was subbed out. Bettini was subbed out. Marquinhos was subbed out. All these players were subbed out. Core of their five that start, if you will. Penalty takers, mainly Dembele and Kvaratskhelia. Now, I don't have a problem with the center back taking it. But I don't think a center back should anchor or lead.
Yeah.
That should be 2, 3, or 4. And for Gabriel, massive stones just to even step up in that fifth position.
Sure.
And take that pen. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy that he missed it, but that's besides the point. It was a moment when I think he started to walk up. Everybody was like, Gabriel, fifth? And then it kind of comes out later that I guess they had practiced that, had trained that, and for him to anchor it from inside Arsenal, and he had asked to be the fifth player, and they had practiced that. But I think everybody not aware, or everybody just turning on their TVs or watching it,
like, wait,
were
what?
expecting to see somebody else,
An attacking player.
Yeah.
right? Whether
who had been subbed off?
Was it Madueke didn't take it? Victor Gyökeres didn't take it.
No,
it was your five were. It was
no. Gyökeres did.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you did have the Victor Gyökeres took the first, and he actually wrong-footed the penalty because he had always shot to the keeper's right. He shot to the left. Ebrezi Eze is the one that missed it.
Right.
Declan Rice, Martinelli, Gabriel. So the ones that were on the pitch that didn't take it was your Maduekes, your Zubimendis, Saliba. Obviously, you're not expecting him so much, but it's just a little bit of
who you lost the substitutions. And again, these weren't bad substitutions at the time, but you Saka, Odegaard, Havertz, and Trossard are like key penalty takers, and so
they were subbed off. On the same side, though, you had Kvaratskhelia because they were just knackered.
Yeah.
All of them were just absolutely knackered by 120
plus minutes.
20 minutes. And PSG's pen takers were Gonzalo Ramos made the first one, started it off. Desiree Doué was the second one. Nuno Mendes is the one that missed it. I believe that was saved, if I'm not mistaken, by David Raya.
Yeah.
Yep. Hakimi was the fourth pen taker. He made it 3-2 at the time. Martinelli stepped up to make it 3-3. Lucas Beraldi, I think the 18-year-old that had gotten subbed in, 18 or 20-year-old that had gotten subbed in, Brazilian player. I think he's Brazilian. Let me double check that. Yes, he is. 22, excuse me. Made it 4-3, and then Gabriel stepped up, missed it high and wide, or just above the bar, 4-3, yeah.
The two things I thought. One, why is the defender anchoring? And then secondly, can you just forget about the footballing part of your brain that either loved it or hated it or whatever? Could you just imagine that poor dude on the drive home?
Oh, yeah, man.
Right? Like, just got to be crushing.
And we were talking about it while we ate. It was, I'm sure you've seen it by now, but a Brazilian teammate of his on the other side, Marquinhos, great gesture as PSG's going off in there, to celebrate. He just has his arms wrapped around Gabriel and just kind of having words of encouragement and stuff. Just good, when it comes down to it, it's a moment of you think, it's just a game.
Yeah, no, that was a really cool moment.
They're going to be, they're with each other right now. I think they're in Florida, maybe in Kansas City. I don't know where their home base is, but they're going to be playing for Brazil and anchoring that back line for Brazil here, in a few days. And they just competed on, out there, maybe not head to head, but competed. And his Brazilian teammate missed that pen. Yeah, he wins, they lose. But it's, it's just kind of that. It reminded you that it was a human to human and that it's just a game when it comes down to it.
In the words of our dearly beloved TV show, how do you goldfish that? right?
Tough.
Like,
No, I mean, you don't. Well, it does. It helps that you have a big parade in a couple days following it. That probably helped. Have a few.
I think literally the next day.
Yeah. So that definitely helps. By the way, there's a video. Have you guys seen the baby in the window video?
no.
Look up that from the it's hysterical because some Arsenal fans in an apartment and the crowd the crowd goes whoa as he lifts his baby up holding the Arsenal kid and they whoa hey and it goes over and over and then the guy leaves the window and everybody goes oh 1,000 people trying to get the baby to come back out and then it goes oh we want the baby. Bring us the baby. And it all starts chanting and stuff.
That's hilarious.
But like, and you was it Trossard or was it Ben White that was yanking off people's sunglasses and they stole like sunglasses off the face of his fellow players and were throwing them to the crowd and stuff. So yeah, the next day, that's your best way to try it, and goldfish it. I was a bit of a surprise miss for me for that penalty. And he has been a very, Declan Rice would mention it like he's been such a good heart for the team because he's just like I don't know, any of the interviews he's just like I love this I love football like he's just very gregarious
and back and watch it though I didn't see it at first but I don't remember what show I was watching maybe it was the CBS like next morning show that they do on Mondays but like he just looked nervous going up. Yeah. You can tell his little stutter, like run up that he did. It just,
it was so
he didn't
disjointed and
he didn't look confident. And he just looked like it was it's almost like he was on, like when he walked up, the moment just kind of hit him like, oh crap, this is a Champions League final. I'm taking a pen in front, like.
Like I said, guys, it's fine. We'll lose the final 2 more times, then we got this. This is how it works. We've got the formula, man. We got the formula.
Yet to. I think it's what was the stat? It was you guys have played like 300, 400 games in the Champions League and have yet to win.
Yeah.
Just like the most amount of games that have been played in the.
Well, yeah, because the 2 finals or 2. Sorry,
the 2 finals,
2 semifinals, and then a final. Yeah, 2 semifinals in a row.
Barca you lost to or Real Madrid? I don't remember who.
No, wasn't it PSG last year? Am I crazy? Was that the
who you guys lost to the first time you guys were in a final during Thierry Henry days?
Yes, it was a late. Yes, it was late.
That's what the broadcast.
Oh yeah,
on the
and they had just moved from Highbury or about to whatever. But yes, So 06, I believe, 2 years following the Premier League, the Invincibles years. Yeah, was then. This is not me saying this. I'm quoting someone, and I want to know if Ferris knows who it was. I'll be completely honest. Arsenal were absolutely robbed tonight. There's no other way to put it. And I was shocked when I came across this because at first I saw it written and thought, all right, so I'm going to scroll past Arsenal Fan TV. Come on, guys. Just friggin' you lost. It's, hey, it was coin toss, right? Get over it. Do you know who said that? And I had to see the video.
Gary Neville.
Wayne Rooney. He has a whole monologue about it. He basically says,
I mean, a lot of the English pundits wanted English team.
He just was very, I mean, it's funny because we agree, looking at that, it wasn't a penalty, but he went, you look at that foul, Anani Madueke in the box, it's Stonewall, 100% clear penalty. I don't know it's true, but how the referee or VAR hasn't given that's beyond me, and the completely changes the dynamic of a Champions League final. For me, the moment that truly gave it away was the moment you knew what the referee was doing was that halftime whistle, to blow the whistle right as Arsenal are literally standing there to take the corner. I've played this game a long time, and you rarely see that unless there's a blatant bias. It was shocking, and it set the tone for everything that followed. In the second half, it became a totally different game, and not because of football. The referee made absolutely sure every single 50-50 call, every little nudge, and every major decision went straight to PSG, completely killed Arsenal's momentum. But to be fair, I'm not even surprised. We saw the exact same story when they played Bayern Munich earlier in the tournament. The officiating was heavily skewed then, and it's happened again on the biggest stage. PSG might be lifting the trophy, but they cannot honestly look at themselves in the mirror and be proud of the way they've won the final. It's the biggest prize in the club football like that. It leaves a horrible taste. Arsenal deserves so much more tonight. I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to reflect on I suggest we don't reflect on Wayne Rooney's specific thoughts here. Instead, I go, this man must really hate PSG. Like it, it reads almost like that. I don't as an Arsenal fan, I don't know.
Yeah, he did it.
He really came out hot on it, and I just was like, I'm. It sounds like something that would be an Arsenal fan TV, rant. It was Wayne Rooney, and I was just very.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
unless he just
doesn't
hates
have
PSG.
Yeah, he must. I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of Wayne Rooney commentary.
Yeah,
It's hard to understand him half the damn time.
It is. Well, I was wondering if you would. I was maybe Ferris did see this crop up in your feed.
I saw Sir Alex's his former manager's comments, but I had not seen his. Because I don't think he has a. I don't know. I think Rooney is very pro England, obviously.
Yeah,
as he should be, and I think that probably comes into it. And he probably doesn't like PSG for how they've gone about handling their business from the ownership to so on and so forth. I don't agree with him on some of those points, clearly, but
it was intense.
I don't know what game he was watching at times, but he's entitled to his own opinion. I think you look at the stats; those completely it's hard to say that. It's hard to say that PSG can't walk away with their heads held high. Or
I'd have to go back and look at the history of Wayne Rooney and PSG and find out what happened there.
I don't really remember there being a whole lot of anything. They didn't play each other a whole lot. I don't know. I don't remember much beef being there, but
it's just, if any Arsenal person or fan had said this, I'd be like, God, that's embarrassing. Don't say this. And then I'm like, that's Wayne Rooney. And then I had to go, this is a lie. And I had to find the video.
Piers
Yes, it does. It absolutely, absolutely.
That's what it seems like.
I thought it was some BS thing until I had to track down the video and be like, or the audio and be like, that's wow. Okay. So so then my takeaway is you just really hate PSG. I will say the only thing I'll say to that comment is it is wild that the two people that Arsenal were chasing to win both the league and the Champions League are two clubs that have such a sort of sports washing stuff floating around them and everything. I was like, God, why is it these two between Man City and PSG? It's like,
they beat who they beat on the way. They beat Liverpool, Chelsea, three English clubs, first one being Bayern Munich. Like, they went through the harder side of the bracket for sure, and they came out.
But we
were talking about it. It's they're easier to like right now because they don't have your Neymars and your Messi's and your Zlatans and all these players they've tried to build these massive Galacticos type squads around. Like, Vitinha's 20 years old. Neves in midfield there. If you remember, he played for Wolves, 21 years old.
Yeah.
Fabian Ruiz, that's not like
I'm
Herder's row of midfield, but four solid players. How many people knew that 51 on the field was William Pacho of Ecuador? Mendes and whatnot. It just, and the person I think that makes the most, Luis Enrique. It's hard not to like him as a head coach.
I'm really
as somebody that kind of is a good tactician, knows how to manage a season, knows how to go about games. Like, he 2 in a row now, and he won the other one with, was it Real Madrid or Barca? I don't remember. But
I am curious as we go through the next few years with this too, is I'm curious to see how English teams do. So a ton of English teams go far, and it's like, wow, look at this, and they're dominating. And then the English teams, don't last out. Now, obviously in this situation, you would need this to happen again where the team winning the Premier League also ends up going to the final, or at least the team fighting for Premier League in second to the last day goes to the final. But the stats for the English clubs, not just Arsenal, but the other English clubs, their star players are all playing way more minutes because La Liga is just not as competitive. And they're able to rotate these stars out so much more. And I was very much worried about that going into this match. And that is the one side I do walk out going, well, they held them from scoring a goal in open play. That's pretty good. Because those stats on the amount of time that Arsenal players starting team had been playing versus theirs, I was like, woof, they might come on with fresh legs and just it could be 4-1 real fast. You know, that was like my fear. But as the years go by, and if you continue to have a PSG or like, you know, I mean, these are great clubs. I'm not saying that they don't have a good team, but what's a PSG do in the Premier League? They score a lot, but they have a tough time defending, and that burnt Man City this year, right? Premier League is getting so good, and this year was a really fun, competitive run in the middle, at the top, at the bottom. I wonder what that's going to translate to Premier League teams for the Champions League. You know, as you say, 5 years go by, we look back at it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like what was it saying? Look, see Lionel Messi play up in Stoke on a Thursday night in the rain. Like, yeah, he still wrecked the field with everybody. Like, he would still tear it up there in Stoke on a Thursday night or whatever. Like, it's.
Well, I think the Stoke comparison is different than what it is now. Yeah,
but it's still. Why don't English teams prioritize it more? Where your Real Madrids and your Barca, Real Madrid is built to play in the Champions League.
But is that
times? Why? But why
is the answer because their league isn't that competitive? So like the only thing Real Madrid care about is really you got to win the Champions League for Real Madrid or Barca. Like, is that?
I mean, I think that
is it a given? They should.
It's not, but their team isn't necessarily built to win that league. Their team is built to win the Champions League.
Yeah, but the league doesn't. Their league doesn't have enough parity in it. It's the same,
but it's
the
not,
same two teams in the top almost every year.
Right, it's not. It's
so winning that over and over and over is much more. I won't say that winning that is much more meaningless as you conquer it year after year after year after year than when you go to Champions League and you play the best in all Europe.
Right, but I go back to a Gareth Bale interview that he did not too long ago on the overlap. And he said, when I got to Madrid, it was about winning the Champions League. That's what it was coached to do. The team's built to do that. And it shows of how evident they are, in the league. Why didn't Man City win but one of those in their 10 years?
Right.
That's it. It almost seemed like how Pep won it that year was he built a team to do that. And I don't. Yes, the Premier League, we've talked about it on the last pod, from top to bottom is much more harder. And you have to get in those top 5 spots, top 4 spots, whatever they are, to get in the league. But it's the same thing with the diminishing of the FA Cup now. Most Premier League teams don't care about it. They put in these half teams in that. Champions League is a bit different, but it's not. You don't see a whole lot of teams really go for it to win that league, and a lot of English teams haven't.
And to that point, West Ham can spend more money than Barcelona can on their players.
Yes.
So there's also just a ton of money coming into the Premier League because it's so popular everywhere that teams can throw down on players.
And Arsenal's bench, I think, what was that came off the bench was like 200 and some mil that came off the bench against Arsenal, opposed to under 50 mil or under. It was something ridiculous from PSG that came off the bench. Like they're deeper squads because of the pocketbooks, because there is more parity league, because it is the biggest league in the world. Top to bottom get paid a boatload and can kind of pad these teams to be able to play in it with 2 full teams. And
it's just, but with Premier League being so good right now, I do wonder in like 5-10 years if you're like, God, a Premier League team or 2 pulled this off in the run. Yet,
and I wouldn't be so much worried about the Champions League as I would the FA Cup. I don't think Premier League teams give 2 tosses anymore about the FA Cup.
Yeah, I guess I can't remember exactly how you get into the Chupacabra Cup.
It's just the leagues.
It's just the leagues, yeah. So if you're competitive in the Champions League, and that's where a lot of managers, Klopp was about this. He was like, this is getting to be way too much. Like,
I think if you added FA back in the day, it used to get in the Champions League. I think now it's just the Europa League, or maybe that hasn't been the case. Maybe it's always been
yeah, but that you've got like all these you've all these matches got added to the Champions League this year and stuff. So Yeah, I don't know. I that'll be interesting to see how like that plays out, because that was definitely my biggest fear running into it, was they had way fresher legs there for their starters than Arsenal was going to have.
PSG beat Inter last year.
Oh, they smoked them. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
5-0.
Yeah. Smoked Inter.
Speaking of smoking,
Mhm.
Slot sacked by Liverpool. We talked a lot about Liverpool a couple of pods ago, and I was keen that he might go quicker, but we settled kind of on December as a definite, and a kind of surprise just before the Champions League final on Saturday, May 30th. That timing was wild. Less than a week following the conclusion of Premier League, Liverpool Football Club sacked head coach Arne Slot after 2 seasons in charge. Slot saw Premier League glory in the first season with Fenway Sports Group, finished in 5th this season with 60 points, the lowest total for a decade. So we ask, agree with the decision? And then, Ball reports Liverpool have agreed to terms with Bournemouth coach Iraola and Donny Iraola. Good choice. Those are our 2 questions.
Yes and yes for me. I think I'm not. I think it's surprised at the timing of Slot. I thought that they would have held on to him a little bit longer, but Tony, in our chat has has more beat on the team, and that he may have lost the locker room way early on this year, not this season, but within this year, and that certainly played into it. Obviously, Salah coming out with his comments, and that probably didn't help matters at all. But to do it this early, I think, is a good decision, because it gives them time in the summer to find a replacement. It's not very common for what Liverpool do. They're not one of hiring and firing within a few seasons' time. And then with Iraola, I think it's a good signing. It's definitely going to be a better style of play. Not going to quite be like Klopp.
It's a big test for him, though.
He was, he was free and got the most out of Bournemouth. But like in Eddie Howe, who got the most out of Bournemouth, then can he translate that to getting the most out of players that are on much higher wages and much more expectations and the weight of the shirt and all of that?
You have to feel Liverpool really wanted Xabi Alonso and didn't pull the trigger.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, but
that'll all be conjecture forever.
Yeah.
Unless somebody writes a book.
I mean, just that you bring in somebody that you won the league, and then you dumped a bunch of money, whether he was the one behind that decision or was it, I don't know who the sporting director is, Richard Hughes, if he was on that maybe had a lot of those signings to get Alexander Isak over the line and pay reverts and all that's 200 and something mil right there on those 2 players, right? To have this 300 million spending spree.
How much was
just retool? How much of that was Slot? Yeah. How much of that was Hughes? Was it both, or was it hard to know those facts? But if Hughes doesn't get this right, you would imagine he's gone, right? You get another chance as a sporting director to bring in somebody else. Now, if Iraola fails, and
you never know. I mean, they could pull a page out of Chelsea's book and
just continue
to hang on to those 2 complete morons who thought that Rosinha was going to be the answer to Chelsea's prayers.
Sure.
A friend of mine had my favorite quote about this. I asked his thoughts, and he just went, text back was great. Messy, but necessary. And I was like, I like that. I think that.
Yeah, I think it was smart for them to pull the trigger now, because the more you think about it, if you are going to get him to November and decide you're going to pull the trigger, you're going to it's going to hit so much of your season next year. And are you going to get anybody, quite as comparable as what's on the market now when you're scrounging around in the winter transfer window? Well, likely not. Right. So don't let it affect last season and this season or this coming season, right? Just rip the Band-Aid off and move on. Yeah. As far as Iraola, I have honest questions about Bournemouth, there were no expectations. You can come in and finish mid-table and people are going to love you at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Right. You get them where you are. You're a superhero. That's awesome. No, it's a very amazing accomplishment. Doing that at a place like Liverpool.
Two different
Right.
things.
Well, it must. I will say, you are right, Ron. Now he is a coach on the rise, absolutely. But you felt like the announcements would have been like maybe they got rid of Eddie Howe and they brought him in, and that would have made like something you thought like could have happened. This is a big jump for him, which to me says that Slot. It's not even just about barely getting into the Champions League and having a bad point total this year. He must truly have lost things so badly behind the scenes, whether rightfully all his fault, truth in the middle or whatever, that they were like, let's take a stab. We won't like idiots. This guy's on the rise, but I feel for Iraola in that it's going to be like limited, right? Because of like lack of big club experience. Like how long will they let him? I know we talked about last pod that, maybe we get this streak of seeing people stick with a manager for a bit and try to make something work. And I don't know.
Only time will tell. I mean, probably the best they could do right now.
Sure.
Right.
And a good best, I would say. Like, I mean, but it does feel like going out on a limb, but his style of playing, yeah.
And we have to keep it hasn't been announced yet. This is only just strong.
It says set to sign. Yeah, that's the report.
And if you get a chance, the Athletic has a really good in-depth article on the whole, how the whole Arne Slot thing, went down.
Yeah. Oh, completely taken off guard. It seems like, as far as like,
yeah, that's he allegedly he was completely blindsided by getting the sack, which you got to feel for that, right? Like.
I mean, they struggled, and they still, yeah.
Any good manager, right? If you're going to fire somebody, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, right? Like the conversation over the end of the season should not have been one of like, it, and maybe in closed doors they did, but he's just saying that he was surprised. I don't know. I think it's probably a bit of management on the part of sporting directors for him to be just that taken off guard by it.
Ferris.
Yep.
I feel like we're in a good spot going into next season. It's a lot of new managers shuffling around. I feel like we're in a very good spot rolling into next season.
I mean, for a change.
Yeah,
yeah, we'll see.
So prior to blowing the whistle, this is technically a World Cup stat, but I don't think it fits in our 2-minute drill that's coming up. So can I throw this out now? Because it is about Premier League managers and sacking. So I caught this earlier today, shared by the stat team at Men in Blazers, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but staggering Chelsea stat. 1 in 12 of every 2026 World Cup managers has been sacked by Chelsea.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
That's funny.
I saw this.
What a great stat.
But go through the list here.
Yeah, it's like Carlo Ancelotti, Thomas Tuchel, he's in Brazil, Ancelotti, Tuchel, England, Graham Potter, Sweden, Mauricio Pochettino, U.S. men's national team. Are we missing anybody else? I pulled up I kind of screen grabbed the stat. Was there other folks? But 1 in 12 is it's a hysterical stat.
2 of those managers were great. The other 2 sucked. So,
if you think about it, there's 48 teams divided by 4.
Yeah.
Well, and actually,
1 in 12.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm glad I read this now because Graham Potter. I was trying to think it was like Iraola. Who's this like? Oh, it is kind of like the Graham Potter thing, right? He did so well with Brighton, and then
no way
went to a bigger club. I hope that's not what it is. But yeah, I saw that cracked me up. I was like, good Lord. And they're all fairly recent.
Chelsea Ancelotti.
Yeah,
I forget about that. Yeah.
Yep. I did too until I read that. I was like, right. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That whole wild merry-go-round. All right, let's get us to halftime. What you got on the beer news tonight with all the news that's fit to drink with Ron's Beer News?
Gentlemen, put on your history hats.
Bring it.
Hat on.
Particularly your American Revolutionary War history.
Oh, gotta crack a beer to that.
The New York Public Library is planning to celebrate the country's 250th birthday with a big cheers. The library has arranged to have a beer made with a 269-year-old recipe. Anyone want to guess who wrote said recipe?
GW. The OG.
The OG GW, George Washington. I've never heard it said that way. That's great. The OG GW. God, how have I never heard that? That's amazing. I'm going to go with that. That's too good of an answer. OG GW.
Correct. Written by the OG G-Dubs.
Let's go.
I have tried his whiskey or whatever recipe when they sold the bottles at his estate, on Monticello. It was rough, guys. It tasted a little different back then. It was a very rough drink.
I don't know. I've heard this stat before. The beer recipe or whatever.
The brew is low alcohol beer meant to be served to the troops when they weren't sure if water at bases was fit to drink. The beer is being brewed locally by Thalia Beer Company in New York. The brewery is actually making two versions, one called Washington's Beer, which will follow Washington's recipe to the letter and have more molasses taste to it. The other beer is called the Liberty Lager and will have some modern tweaks to the recipe in case you don't want to celebrate like it's 1757.
I love the tagline there. Blake, do you remember, me and Charles were talking about this the other day when we went to the beer fest?
I do. I know where you're going with this.
And the Castle Church.
Martin Luther's
beer.
wife's recipe.
Yes.
Not
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther, the 99 Theses Protestant Reformation. Yeah. Martin Luther. Yeah, it was his wife, who had been a Catholic. Died. It was her recipe for was it a Kolsch style?
Yeah, it was a Kolsch.
And it was very peppery. Remember, it tasted very different. But from
is
that 16th century? Why did I just lose that, Ron? When is that?
Martin Luther?
Yeah.
The OG Martin Luther, I guess. if we're going OGs today.
1483, died 1546. So yeah, 16th century. There you go. Yeah.
So we have an official beer review from the New York Times.
Oh, they've already had it?
Yep.
Okay.
They got it on a special press offering.
Yeah.
And the beer, the first appearance, and I quote, the first appearance, this brew is a couple of shades darker than many modern beers, closer in color to rum than beer. But that's not a surprise considering the principal ingredient that Washington called for was molasses. The pour, sure enough, is very on the nose, is found to be very molassesy and very gingerbready, kind of like caramelized sugar. It is surprising how pleasant it actually tastes. The beer, it was expected to be too sweet to drink, but was not.
I want to
just
try
a cool thing to celebrate the 250th of America, by grabbing an OG beer recipe and giving it a whirl. So if you are in the tri-state area, you can find the Liberty Lager in, most of your typical beer halls. And if you are in New York City, you will be able to try samplings of Washington's lager. Now, an interesting thing also about that is the Thalia Beer Company that is making this is entirely female owned, and they produce a bunch of high quality beers in Manhattan and Brooklyn.
That there's a high quality beer, Clark. Would that set you back if you don't mind me asking?
So
Clark, it's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
Yep. So if you're in the 5 boroughs, and you want to give it a try, go out to their Williamsburg store, their Cobble Hill tap room, their West Village, and their Bryant Park tap rooms. It'll be Washington's Lager will be on there, but you can only get the Liberty Lager will be at those locations. Washington's Brew you will only be able to get in and around the New York Public Library.
I mean, I might need to take a New York trip in the summer then. See if I can't snag some of that. That'd be awesome.
Okay.
And that, gentlemen, is your beer news.
All right, Ferris, we ready for this 2x2 minute drill? Let's try that again. You ready?
Stuttered on this pod, not you. You get it. Come on.
It's like because I cracked the second one. This 2x2 minute drill for our LeaguA's roundup.
And I will say the Penguins on the pitch, a lot better when it's nice and real cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm letting it warm up, and it's much more like viscous in the mouthfeel.
Yeah. But like ice cold, we did get it out of the freezer. In case you were listening to the pod earlier on. You haven't turned us off yet. Very good. All right. We didn't get a chance to do it on the last pod, so we'll quickly go through the top 3 to 5 finishing, those clubs that made the Champions League, if you will, in the top 5 leagues around Europe. So in the Bundesliga, it was, of course, Bayern Munich, 89 points, just crushed it, plus 86 that topped the Bundesliga once again in a great season. Listen to this goal difference, gents. 122 goals, 36 against, for a plus 86 goal difference. That's absurd. Dortmund second, RB Leipzig third, Stuttgart fourth. Those are your Champions League teams. Hoffenheim, Leverkusen, Freiburg. Hoffenheim, Leverkusen in Europa League, and then Freiburg in the UEFA Conference League. Moving over to the Serie A, it was Forza Inter, who topped it this season around. Kagalagalu, I'm not going to say that name correctly, but just the best rated player, Hakan Kagalagalu. There's no way. Best player for Inter, plus 54 goal difference, 87 points, top the table in Serie A. They won the Scudetto once again. Napoli finished second. Roma finished third. Gents, do you know who finished fourth above Milan and Juventus, of all things? Como.
Yeah.
Como. Cesc Fabregas coached Como.
Gotta love it. Chelsea
Unbelievable. Player. Listen to this run towards the end of the season. 4 wins and a draw to end their season and to nip Champions League places over Milan by a single point. Milan lost on the last day 2-1 to Calgary. Calgary in 14th place. Cagliari, Calgary.
Calgary's a different country.
Yeah, no, hopefully not everyone's Stanley Cup. Anyways, Milan and Juventus do finish in the Europa League places, and Atalanta finish in the Conference League places. Moving over to La Liga, it was Barcelona who won, as we kind of talked about on several pods back. Real Madrid second, Villarreal third, and Atletico Madrid fourth. Now, La Liga does do quite well in the European tournaments, so they have a 5th place, and that was Anthony of no other. Anthony, former Man United player, thank God.
Oh, yeah.
Real Betis, who made 5th and got Champions League. They only have 1 Europa League spot, but actually Real Sociedad is in it as well. So Celta Vigo and Real Sociedad. And I got to figure out, I think Real Sociedad got in because they won the Copa. They won something to get them in. Anyways, Getafe finished in 7th for the Conference League. Moving over to Ligue 1, it was PSG who topped it, but only by 6 points. Plus 45 goal difference. It was Lens who finished second on 70 points. Lille finished third on 61 points. Those 3 teams are your Champions League places. Lyon has to essentially play their way into the Champions League. Marseille, Rennes are in your Europa League, and Monaco and 7th are your Conference League. Nice, Nantes, and Metz all go down in Ligue 1. Nice is a big one. Nice, a couple seasons ago, quite good. Under, at that time, the same ownership that Man United are under right now with Sir, what was his name? I can't think of it all of a sudden. Radcliffe, thank you. Under that ownership group. So interesting for them to go down. Going backwards real quick, Mallorca, Girona.
My Girona.
They were in the Champions League last season. They're going down, and Real Oviedo went down there. In France, you had Cremonese, Hellas Veronis, and Pisa. Do you know who plays for Cremonese? Or used to?
Couldn't tell you.
Jamie Vardy. Has a new documentary on Netflix.
Oh, I've heard really good. We need to watch that.
Yep.
I've heard that's quite good.
And then in the Bundesliga, FC Heidenheim and St. Pauli. I wanted St. Pauli to stay up so bad, but 4 losses at the very end of the season ain't going to do that.
No.
And then I believe it was also Wolfsburg that went down as well as they lost the playoff final there, and Werder Bremen stayed up.
I just feel bad for St. Pauli's girls.
I do. But it's, oh man. To watch their games on TV was awesome. Great stadium crowd, the whole nine. Awesome.
All the German people laughed at my joke.
Yeah, I know.
No one else.
I kind of just brushed over it. But that's kind of all your Champions League places and those that went down in the top 5 leagues in Europe.
Boom. Oh, dang it. I for some reason thought we were on the previous section. Boom. Now, congratulations to Crystal Palace, who last week won another bit of silverware on Oliver Glasner's way out, as Palace won the UEFA Conference League with a 1-0 win over Spanish side Rayo Vallecano. Say that again? Vallecano. Despite almost leaving the club in January while Glasner was already talking about his end of the season exit, it was the lone Jean-Philippe Mattea goal in the 51st minute, which sealed Crystal Palace's second ever major trophy, not counting the Community Shield. This Oliver Glasner leading Palace just feels so sad, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been by far the best manager in their history.
Yeah.
Won an FA Cup, goes out winning this, which is huge. Yeah, it's a conference for Palace. That's massive. It's a European Cup that they won.
Yeah.
It just set up a squad lovely. It's interesting to see who will go in there next.
The odds had Frank Lampard up high, but I just didn't feel like that was going to be the case.
No, I think you got to stay with Coventry. I feel like.
Yeah. How do you abandon them now?
Well, the top odds for what it's worth now is Pierre Pierre Sage.
Pierre Ten Hag?
No. I'm
no,
not
who
saying,
was the Emmons coach?
I'm not sure I'm saying his name correctly. But at least on the odds right now, he's like the top one for Crystal Palace. French professional football manager, the coach of Lens.
Oh, yes. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it just does. It just seems sad because he seems like a proper Palace manager, you know?
Yeah, I think he got overly frustrated with the lack of spending and the lack of all the star players between. You saw Michael Elise go, who had a brilliant season in the Bundesliga. You saw as they leave. I mean, you saw a lot of these big name players. John Mateta was literally out the door, had his bags packed, and was on his way, and then that got turned around. Kind of a fitting end that he wins Palace another cup. Mateta, who was on his way out after kind of what Glasner was complaining about, stayed and scored the goal. Kind of a weird way of how that all played out, but good for Palace. Happy they won a tournament, and with this win, they will now be another team. They finished 14th. This will be on the last pod.
I think so.
14th team playing in Europe because they're being playing in the Europa League with this win. Good for them.
And right now, Glasner is linked with AC Milan. Also Bayer Leverkusen, but are the two that he's linked with.
And since we also didn't get to talk about this on the last pod, gentlemen, what did we make of the U.S. men's national team World Cup squad announcement last week. If you don't remember, I'll run through it really quickly. We picked 3 goalkeepers: Matt Brady from Chicago Fire, Matt Freese from NYCFC, and Matt Turner from the New England Revolution.
Chris Brady. You threw 3 Matts out there.
A lot of Mats. Yeah, that's Chris.
And 10 defenders: Max Arfenston, Arfston from Columbus Crew, Serginho Dest from PSV Eindhoven, Alex Freeman from Villarreal.
Let's go,
Heck
Alex.
yeah.
Plantation, Florida, too.
Mark
Florida boy.
McKenzie from Toulouse, Tim Ream from Charlotte FC, also rumored to be captain. Chris Richards
Is announced as captain.
Oh, did
Yep.
it finally get announced?
Yeah.
Chris Richards from Crystal Palace, Anthony Robinson from Fulham, Miles Robinson from FC Cincinnati, Joe Scally from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and then
Best name.
I know, right?
It still is the best name to say. Yeah.
And then this one's pretty good. Austin Trusty from Celtic I like Austin Trusty. What a
Yeah.
fun.
He's
kind
from
of-
Media PA.
Yeah, he's from PA.
Oh, he's media. He's just down the road, relatively speaking.
Yeah,
That's,
and I don't have a problem. 10 defenders. You have some attacking
Hold
in
on,
there.
we still got
and
more to go.
Wing bats. I know, but in
Hold
terms
on.
of just the defenders, I'm fine with all this.
Midfielders, we took 6 of them. Tyler Adams from Bournemouth, Sebastian Berhalter from Vancouver Whitecaps, Weston McKennie from the old lady Juventus, Gio Reyna from Borussia Mönchengladbach, Christian Roldan from Seattle Sounders, Malik Tillman from Bayern Leverkusen. Forwards: Brendan Aronson from Leeds, Florin Balogun from Monaco, Ricardo Pepi from PSV Eindhoven, Christian Pulisic from AC Milan, Tim Weah from Olympique Marseille, Haji Wright from Coventry, newly up in the Premier League, and then Alejandro Sendejas from Club America. That rounds up your list.
Yeah.
Do we
all in
have
all,
a
I don't-
stat? Is this the most? Is this the U.S. men's team in the World Cup with the most players playing in Europe and
Broad?
abroad? Yeah, it seems.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Really, not a whole lot of surprise with this announcement. I think the 2 big surprises for me, anyways, were Christian Roldan from the Sounders and a name that we didn't hear a whole lot and that hasn't really been involved a whole lot, but Gio Reyna.
yeah.
He was very on the very in vogue, then out of vogue, then on the bubble, and
Yeah, and because of those 2 players, right? You have a center attacking type creative midfielder, and then Roldan more of a number 8, so even a holding midfielder, sometimes attacking, but more of a number 8. A Tanner Tessman had a great season over in France, and Diego Luna, who had been a kind of a mainstay in Pochettino's teams leading up to this, a little bit of an X factor, if you will, coming off the bench with the creative force. And those seem to be the 2 biggest snubs, if you will, that the American fan base and American soccer pundits and writers and all that are conjecturing about. And to be honest with you, I agree, because Tanner Tessman, I think, could use his size, speed, wits about him, that he's just had a fantastic season in France. And I think you take Diego Luna from a different aspect, right? Chose us over Mexico, brings a lot of passion, heart to how he plays, and can be that kind of difference in a game. Where, yes, Gio once could do that. Can he still do that? Because he really didn't do that most of this season. And his name alone may have carried him in this. Now, he can play more positions than what a Diego Luna does, but we haven't seen what what Gio does nowadays that's similar to what Gio does since Gio Reyna was playing in Dortmund. Do you remember that Gio Reyna was playing at Nottingham Forest not too long ago?
Yeah.
I think earlier in the season, that's what? Like, you forget he was there. So, I don't know. All in all, not a huge surprise. Those two names are the ones that stuck out to me.
I can't get a number. I'm trying to struggle if this is the highest or one of. It's 81% of players who are in the squad based in Europe. Yeah.
17 players for this roster. For the Qatar roster, it was 19. So it's the second highest total.
Interesting.
Man, why does this one feel like it's more?
Yeah.
Going through that list.
I'll say right before we kind of move on, my player on this team to watch out for, Flo Balogun. Watch out for Flo Balogun going into this tournament. I think he can.
Do we get out of group?
Yes.
You heard it here first. Oh, here we go. But to follow up the World Cup talk, this week the IFAB, the International Football Association Board, announced a whole raft of landmark rule changes, which will go into effect for the summer's World Cup. And among those changes will be, hold for show, a red card for covering the mouth in confrontational situations, a red card for leaving the field of play in protest against a match official's decision, VAR to overturn incorrectly awarded corners, changes to on-field treatment rules. I want to explain some of these just a little bit. So any player, the red card for during confrontation, covering the mouth. Any player who covers his mouth in a confrontation situation could receive a red card. Let's just walk through these real quick.
And that was the Palestri on Vicinius Jr. in the Champions League earlier this season.
Yes.
Right.
So players still able to cover their mouths when conversing normally, but outlawing the act during disagreements is designed to remove the plausible deniability of any player accused of making discriminatory remarks. So this is one of those that I see it, and on paper, because of what happened, I see the problem that you're trying to fix, but the consistency for this is going to scare me.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because it's only in confrontation. They've come out and said, we expect players who are friends to have, normal chats during games and to still be able to cover their mouth and that sort of thing. Right, or even after games. You see it a lot after games. They're all hugging and stuff. They just don't want cameras to pick up on the things they say. This is more in a confrontational sense, more to what we saw during that Champions League match, right? And I think when you think about it that way, it makes sense. However, how does an on-field ref see some of these things? Is it a confrontation? Is it not? Is it two players just talking a little bit of smack to each other, but nothing terribly bad is said? Is it
the example of this is the Vicinius Jr.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? The ref didn't actually see that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What ended up happening was Vicinius Jr. ran to the ref and said XYZ had happened. Right. So is this going to be VAR reviewable? And that did not have physical altercation means to it. So how are you going to? How's this actually going to be enforced?
How do you enforce this? Because also, how does a jerk not get good at just like calling you a terrible name with a smile on his face, but not covering his hand?
I think this one's like the next one. They only happen because of events that happened this past season. We rarely ever see that.
And
rarely ever see it. Singular events, correct. Between what we saw in that Champions League match to the next one of leaving the field in protest against a match, we don't ever see that.
Yeah.
We see them in protest all the time, but they don't leave it. But it was Senegal who walked off the pitch in the AFCON.
Yeah, so the next one is
right?
A red card for leaving the field in protest against a match official's decision.
Is that rule even new? Banning in a game was always in the rule book in terms of how the AFCON went about it and came out weeks after, how it took weeks after for them to come back and go, hey, no, actually this team won because you abandoned the match. But now it's a red card?
Well,
so now if you just walk outside of the lines of the field? So if you're doing a throw and you don't agree with the call on a foul on the throw and you happen to step off the pitch, are you leaving the field of play? And now you're going to be called a red card because you're on the other side of the line and you're protesting?
Well, we don't have the exact verbiage in the laws, so it's probably not just leaving the field of play; it's leaving the actual field.
Yeah,
right?
but isn't
Walking
that
down the tunnel.
expanding the game? All of it? Like, I just.
Well, so it says IFAB has given referees the power to show a red card to any player who leaves the field in protest at a match official's decision, or any team official inciting players to leave the field. Any team that causes the match to be abandoned will in principle forfeit the match. Yeah, this also feels like a new rule for a problem that doesn't exist, when you probably already could probably say unbecoming conduct, whatever the thing. Here's a red. I don't know that this needed to be. And it's kind of like the red card for the mouth over the confrontation. I think, to go back to that, I don't like that it's a red card. It could be. I wish it was just called a cardable offense.
Sure.
I feel like straight to red with this, something's going to happen where it's real dodgy about whether that should have been or not. And then you can't review it, because how do you know what
Well, every VAR, I think maybe that's why they did it, because every red card is reviewable.
It is, but if your mouth is covered,
how do you know?
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, VAR can't, I heard, was it Wayne Rooney? Someone was like, oh, they're going to start miking the players. It's coming. It's coming. They're going to, like, somehow. And they won't broadcast it, but they'll, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. The one that I liked the most out of this, and the one that is kind of the most interesting one, VAR to overturn incorrect awarded corners. For me,
that seems like why it hadn't been that way before.
Yeah, because corners can change the game, right?
Yeah.
And they
especially
can
if you're
lead
playing
to
Arsenal.
goals.
Yeah.
And they can lead to goals. So, it's interesting. We'll see how. It's supposed to be a really quick VAR overturn. It's not supposed to last long, is what they're quoted as saying. It's supposed to be, to be very clear, we won't delay anything. We don't need any review from the ref. It is a matter of fact that becomes clear before they take the corner kick, and we change the decision, we being VAR. And that's said by Kalina, who is part of IFAB here. It would only be reversed if it could be corrected immediately by VAR without delaying the restart. This is no strict time limit for a decision to be made. So interesting to see how this is going to be played in real time, and how many you might see overturned. Yeah, so this is very curious to me.
And then the fourth one was the efforts to curb time wasting. The 8-second release rule for goalkeepers introduced at the start of the season has been judged to be a great success. So the referees will provide a visual 5-second warning by raising their hand, and goalkeepers know they only have a few seconds to release the ball from their hands or risk conceding a corner. The AFIB is expanding the principle to goal kicks and throw-ins with the aim of minimizing time wasting. If goalkeepers fail to be deliberately delaying the restart, the referee will start a similar 5-second countdown, and if the ball is not released in that time, a corner can be awarded to the opposition. The countdown applies to throw-ins, when the punishment being a throw-in to the opposition team from the same spot. We're not expecting to have many throw-ins or corner kicks given. We expect the players to respect the limits given, said Kalina, who did not rule out time limits for corners and free kicks in the future, but stressed that context would be taken into account. Again, my only concern with this one, in principle, I love this. It's got to be consistent. Because we have this in other sports, right? We have shot clocks. We have this just needs to be consistent.
But the question I have, this and the 5-second throw-in rule, right, is another place where someone has to count something down.
Yeah.
The fourth official has already got his hands full. Who's doing this?
Right.
Well,
who's doing this on player substitution?
Yeah, I think it's also hard how you can do it on goalies, right? The majority of the goalie delay of game is to go down like they're hurt. So how do you deem if that's actually an injury or not?
Right. There was something about that, right? With the
ball
goalkeeper.
8 seconds.
Exceptions apply to injured players, or if there are safety or security reasons that could make leaving a certain part of the pitch.
How could you determine
I think what they're going to do is if you're once the keeper is up and has the ball and is ready to send it, and then they go get water, right? Or they pick up the ball, place it on another spot, right?
We haven't seen any of those we've seen yellow cards given. We haven't for those 8-second type rules, but that's very deliberate by the goalie. I just don't know.
But
really going to elaborate upon what's already in place.
This is the same thing that's already in place.
Yeah. So why is it?
But it's new to international.
Yeah. Well, and there's the ceremonial time delays, it said, of central defenders coming from the opposition end, which takes time. And then it said it would highlight another scenario is that player might come from a far long away for a throw in the penalty area. So a bit more time can be given if that team needs this player to get to the ball. So you're like, there's already obviously contextual situations that you just kind of feel there are going to be some yellows and stuff that go out that affect people to become like a second yellow or whatever, or get someone booted out of the next match. That this one just worries me a little bit. I'm all for making this happen, like carving out this. It's just every time it's so left up like this, it makes me nervous.
Well, here's the thing. They'll do this in the World Cup and it'll be great, right? We won't even know it was a thing.
It'll be terrible when it comes to Premier League.
It'll be talking point all next season.
Yes. If it comes to Premier League, it will be ruined. The way they do it'll be ruined.
International. The interesting thing is all of these rules have been going on in the Canadian Premier League for their entire season. So all of this is going to be tested and relatively tried, true, and trained. Whereas the stuff the Premier League does and Pigmal does is very last minute knee jerk reaction and all right, everybody go. Ready, aim, fire, or ready, fire, aim, you know?
No, we'll see here in a few weeks.
And
it's all going to come back to consistency.
Yeah, on-field treatment was the other one that people would have a minute to that when you come off the field for treatment that you'll have to be off the field for a minute, with some exceptions. But they were trying to get eliminate the trend of goalkeepers, right? Who act like they need treatment, but I don't think that will be. They said
goalies never had to come off the field for treatment anyway.
Right. And so they said they couldn't come to an agreement.
Yeah. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Right. Like they're just going to do what they've always done. And a goalkeeper is going to lay on the floor and pretend to be injured rather than get a yellow card for delay of restart. That's all. They're just They're just making the goalkeepers, go to the whole fake an injury thing. That's all.
Yep. Last week, the two-time Ballon d'Or winner and Barcelona legend Alexia Putellas will be departing the storied club this summer, bringing her 14-year career at the Catalonian club to a close. During that time, she amassed 4 UEFA Women's Champions League titles, the champions, 8 Liga F championships, 7 Copa del Reina championships, and holds the all-time club record with 232 goals, made over 500 official appearances for FC Barcelona. What a career. This is a massive player in the women's game, and she is being talked about as possibly coming over to the NWSL.
Heck,
32 years old. There's not a club in the world that won't take her at what she has done, her playmaking ability, her goal scoring. It's just wild, and I love the Athletical article written by a few different folks, Tamara Griffin, Mulaney, Anzadel, and Asha Paulette. And one of the words in here, that move is no longer EA Sports FC Fantasy, which means like this move is actually like possible. It's not something that you just do on PlayStation card, right? Or Xbox, or you get a card and she can play on whatever team you want her to play on. It's interesting. She's being talked about mainly with like the high impact rule that's being done, but the Spirit are up there. San Diego, who have Kat Macario, are being up there. It's going to be interesting to see where she goes. Also, Michelle Kang, can spend all sorts of money, owns both the Spear, but also owns the Lionesses over
Orlando City. Just bring her on over.
Come on over.
Yeah, I actually want her for Orlando City, not Orlando Pride.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, 100%. Her and Griezmann, oof, that is what EAFC is made of. But listen, I love her at the Pride. I don't think we're going to get her, but I would love that. So we'll see where she goes, but somebody to keep an eye on. And yeah, what a player, what a career there, and look for that here in the summer.
In the Premier League this past week, not only did we lose another head coach and Fulham boss Marco Silva, but the league loses a titan and stalwart of the league in James Milner, who Monday announced his retirement from professional football at the age of 40, with 24 of those years playing in the Premier League. What a flippin' career.
Yeah. Wow.
Do you guys know most matches in Premier League histories? You want to fair to guess at that?
Well, I wrote the content, so I already know it.
So you know the answer for how many? Ron,
Yeah,
do you know?
Yeah, I read the content.
Wait.
Just scroll down to the next page there, fella.
Oh, I didn't
Newcastle,
scroll.
Aston Villa, Man City, Liverpool, finally Brighton, Hove Valley.
My page had not rolled down. Apologies.
Yeah, I wrote it, so yeah, I know.
So he played for Leeds, Aston Villa, Manchester City, Liverpool, and finally Brighton and Hove these past 3 years. Earlier season, he became the Premier League record holder for most appearances, with 654 of them in top flight. Milner's won 12 major trophies, including 3 league titles and 1 Champions League title, while registering 56 Premier League goals along 90 assists. That's flipping wild.
I don't, great
Is
career.
that ever going to happen again?
You're right. That's what I'm saying. We may not see this again.
Yeah.
I mean, 24 years at just all those clubs, a few times out on loan for some other clubs that were in the top flight, but none of the teams that I like. Did you know? You got a lot of respect for how he went about the game, his hard work. Obviously, those goals and the assists in 24 years isn't astronomical, but he wasn't known for that. The man just put in a hard shift every single day and could play any position, right? Especially later in his career, you saw him play center back. Or not center back, but you saw him play like what your holding midfielder role was. So you're number 6 primarily, but he moved up to number 8. He can play at 10 sometimes earlier on in his career, but then moved a lot to those right back and left back type positions as well. So just an absolute Iron Man, if you will, for the league and how many years he did it, and just a wonderful career.
Do you guys know the top 10 for most matches?
I know he surpassed, was it Gareth Barry?
Yeah.
We passed.
I mean,
are we going top 5 or going top 5?
You go 5 top 10. You either way.
I'd say Wayne Rooney's up there.
Nope.
Somewhere. Thierry Henry.
Nope.
Ashley Young.
Nope. This is going to support what you both just said, which is, when is this going to happen again? So James Milner, it's 658. You were right about Gareth Barry. He's second. It's 653 matches. 632 matches.
Yeah.
Ryan Giggs.
Giggsy, yeah. Oh, yeah, duh.
609 matches. A Ron favorite. At number 4.
Lampard?
Yep.
Yeah.
572 is David James. 535, Gary Speed. 516, Emil Heskey. 514, Mark Schwarzer. 508, Jamie Carragher. And 505, Phil Neville. This is like, look at that list and how far back some of these go. Like, this really is not.
David James, I just saw him at the Premier League Live stuff.
Yeah.
It's all blood. I'm on my side, yeah.
But I don't know that happens again.
I don't think
that's a wild stat. And had a great job even in his final year. So,
yeah.
All right, James Milner. Cheers.
So much, my friend.
And lastly, you know him, you love him, you love to hate him. The special one.
I think I'm a special one.
Confirmed today, gentlemen. Jose Mourinho announced by club president Florentino Perez as the next head coach of, you guessed it, gentlemen, Real Madrid. Mourinho returns to the club on a 3-year deal. I'll place a bet that he doesn't make 3 years.
But he always does. He just gets sacked in the 3rd year. He always gets to 3. In the 3rd year, he gets sacked. So this is a great deal for Florentino Perez. He knows the MO spot on.
Yep. Taking over Los Blancos on June 7th. Gentlemen, that's like
4 days away.
4 days. Last with the club from the 2010 to 2013, where he won the Copa del Rey in his first season and the La Liga title in his second. The question is this a good move for all involved?
Sure. Why not?
Here's how I will.
It's great for
here's how
us.
I'll do it.
Absolutely. That's why it's all involved.
Here's how I will convey my thought. You know you're going to end up having to rebuild Real Madrid.
Yes, and
Right.
not for the first time I think ever a Spanish side playing in the World Cup. No Real Madrid players.
I think
Wow.
of this as you're going to move away from your home for work, but you're going to keep the house you bought and you're going to put a renter in there, knowing that when you come back and the renter is done, you're going to have to rebuild the entire thing. That's this. That is exactly this. Jose's going to go in there. He's going to light the world up, right? A lot of this club has a massive reputation for player personalities, player entourage antics, all of this kind of crap that is associated, which was happening at PSG until, Neymar and Messi and the clown
Right.
posse left, right? Jose's going to go in there. He's going to win some shit, but he's going to burn the place down doing it.
Yeah.
And then they're going to rebuild the entire thing when Jose departs.
Yeah. I think you have almost the exact same gameplay as 2010 2013. Wins the Copa del Rey the first season. Second season wins the Liga title. Third season, battling relegation with Real Madrid halfway through the season, gets a sack.
It's just a shame Liverpool didn't snatch him up first, so we couldn't get some fun banter for the. Could you imagine?
I would have loved and hated that all at the same time.
Yeah.
It would have been such a glorious time.
I'm a special one, and I'm a Scouser now.
I don't know. I think he's going to end up trying to make a good inroads to Champions
Only
League.
thing that would make this better, and Hansi Flick's going nowhere with Barcelona, but if big Ange Postecoglou went in from Barcelona and you had Ange Postecoglou and Jose Mourinho
God, that'd be
in El
hilarious.
Clasico. wouldn't
Talk
that
about a
be
tie flip.
brilliant?
Dude. Oh, look,
That'd-
mate. That actually,
been
yes.
brilliant.
The most uncomfortable interviews in all Spain.
It's just that we know how the story
Great game,
ends, right? I mean, that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like,
But we're going to get to see it play out live for maybe 3 seasons.
Again.
Can't wait. This is extraordinary.
yeah, man.
I love it. Like, what do? You play second, and you have Mbappe who's scoring a bunch of goals, and the team's crap. Not a single Spain player. Let's bring in Jose again. Why not? Let's burn the tires on it again.
Can't wait
Let's
till
go
we find
for it.
out the locker room headbutting between him and Mbappe. I feel like that's going to be.
I think Mbappe's going to put his tail between his legs and haul ass.
Yeah, I mean the man. He scored like 60 goals this season. Yet they still had a bad year compared to what the team does. But whew, this is going to be awesome. I cannot wait.
The content will write itself.
I may actually watch a little bit more of the League of matches just because Jose's on the sideline.
That is my one fear though. Mbappe like bolts out, and then what happens is like Liverpool or Man City snatch him up, and then we're like, oh mother, Jose got us again.
Welcome to your Inter Miami, Mbappe.
Yeah. Don't worry, our Apple TV will pay for it.
Or he goes to Atlanta.
Oh, friggin' brutal. No, thank you. Well, we know how that story ends. We just
Yep.
do.
It's going to be great. And while you're at it, where's our wine, buddy?
Yeah.
Send you
Come
this
on.
nice letter to stroke your ego. No wine.
Yeah.
No
Just one bottle.
Mr.
That's all
Match
we're
Night
asking
wine.
for.
Yeah, that is disappointing. Oh, God.
Not even a response. Not even a, hey, peon, F off.
Which Zlatan would have 100% done.
Yeah. He would have
At
told
least he would have put that on Twitter and
Oh,
said, hey, thanks for the letter. Piss off.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm not sending you your wine. Lion's Mane wine. What would his wine be named?
Something.
Yeah.
Lionheart.
No.
Cab.
Nope. It would just be Zlatan.
You know what? You're 100% right.
That's
the
it.
logo or something may have like a lion mane around or whatever, but like you're
Yeah,
right.
sure.
It would just be called Zlatan.
And it would be whatever that red is. That's like a blend of crap.
Like,
Blend the various blended wines.
Yeah, I'm
Blended
just not.
wines.
Yeah, I'm not a wine connoisseur. So
it's a Malbec. I don't know if I can pick them all, but I just am throwing words out.
It's a rosé.
It's a rosé. Oh my God, that was great.
Oh, hit the whistle.
Like pink. It's pink, not even red.
Oh geez. Okay, well that I'll do it again. Oh, that gets us out of this pod. Our beer's the pod where Sierra Nevada's extremely drinkable premium pills craft lager. I kind of like the 8-ounce can because I got 2 and they were cold. It's cold. You know what I mean? Because you're not pouring like the 16-ounce or whatever. This pill's really tasty.
We did Penguins on the Pitch Pale Ale. Great name. From Kings County Brewers Collective.
Yeah, and very good one. It's a little bit colder than what we had the first one. Darn good.
Ferris, do you have, speaking of the lion?
You tell me when to stop.
Let's try it now. Now. Now.
Now. Gotta go again.
Now.
It's a picture, so hold on.
Now.
It's a picture again.
How about now?
Stand by.
When will then
Now.
be now?
Right now.
Soon?
Okay, all right, here we go. Whew, we got there.
Whenever Ferris makes that face, it's an itch.
I'm reading through them real quick just to make sure one they're appropriate and two.
That book has been a good one. Oh man, this is
Okay.
This would be a good
all right.
page.
Speaking of PSG, since they won the Champions League, now I'm here at PSG. I think that people in Paris have something else to see besides the Mona Lisa.
I want to see a pig painting of him like the Mona Lisa, but it's him. Flippin' brilliant. I love it. Well, as always, follow us at thebrutifulgame.com. Leave a rating review on whatever podcatcher but you listen to us. But more importantly, tell your friends and families. That's how we get new listeners. Tell them grandmas, especially them great grandmas. They love us. Follow us on Untapped, where you will see our beer adventures, and we can see yours, see what's, and give you a quick cheers and toast. Boom. That wraps us up. I have a question for you guys. I have a pen case. What does it? I have this like a nice pencil case that I picked up. What does it have in common with Arsenal?
There's some sort of penalty thing.
They erase any hope of winning the Champions League?
Nope, it's missing 2 pens. Enjoy the veal. I'll see you later. Have a good night. Love the beer, cherish the game, the Brewtiful Game.
Because lions, they don't recover like humans.